Now then, it's not raining today and it's February, and it's time to start cutting next winter's firewood. It's been in the stack, as you see behind me, for about 8-10 months, so I cut it up now and it'll be really ready for next winter. So we're using the Ferguson cordwood saw. I just want to point out a few things before we start. This has been modified slightly, and you'll see that there's a table on the right hand side of the blade, which means that any log is supported both sides, and so therefore you can rip down without any danger, as long as you keep your thumbs out of the way. Anyway, we're not going to go into too much detail because there are some very early videos. In fact, the first couple I made were about this tractor and this saw, so go right back into the mists of time and you'll find these. Now on the stack, let's just come round on the stack. It's not huge stuff, but it's good enough, and there's quite some small stuff in there, and you'll see that on the small stuff I'll notch it all the way along just to help it dry, especially with the cherry and the ash, because both of those hold on to their bark and the bark prevents drying. So if you do some little notches with the blade through it, it'll help drying. And some of it, and if I come across one I'll point it out, I've run the chainsaw along the length of the log, again for the same reason, just to help the drying process. So we're not going to mess around. I'm just going to get the tractor started, put her in gear and get cutting. What do you reckon, about there? I reckon that should do. Right, let's go and stack it up in the shed. Now we're in shot. There's the wheelbarrow. We've got maybe 2 more of these barrows to go in here. And we've got a slight curve on there, so it all locks together. And this is quite a ventilated shed. The back wall is loose boards, so you get plenty of air going through. And this will be beautiful come next autumn. This autumn coming, because it's February. You notice that one's split halfway down. Again, for drying. And I like to put the cup face on the outside for no other reason than it looks nice. And so we just stack away. Keeping the bits that are easy to stack at the front. And chunky bits like that, throw them right back. So it's full right up to this level. And we have 3 of these bays. And in a normal winter we'll use all 3 bays, especially if we've got plenty of guests in the lodge. And if you want to know about the lodge, then there's quite an old video. It's actually a series of photographs. And have a look. But it's for people who want to get away from microwaves and television and internet access and all that sort of thing. Gas powered central heating. So it's wood powered, and the majority of the power comes from our renewables system. I mean, it's 240 volts. So we're not fundamentalists and 12 volts, but it's wood, big wood range, and very comfortable and quiet. It was a thing that we did 15 years ago. It's quite big. I don't know, was it 8 by 8 meters? But it was a matter of again, sharing the space and helping people to experience a way of living that doesn't involve instant gratification, which is very much like this cutting the firewood now for next winter. And I will potter along at this all spring. In fact, just for interest, this year I've been counting the number of barrow loads that go into here, and so far we've had 24 of these big barrow loads in this bay. And I'm going to have to write, I'll just write it up there, just because where I've been marking has now disappeared behind the wall of logs. I think we'll have 1 more barrow load in here, and that will be full. And you get enormous satisfaction of knowing that this is here. It's I suppose it's a bit of a squirrel effect. Not unakin to making jam, picking and storing hazelnuts, picking the apples and putting them in the apple store. We're still, it's February now, we're still eating our own cooking apples and eating apples, and we'll do so for another 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. It's that whole thing of it's there, you don't have to expend energy in the middle of winter going off to get produce and what have you, because you've been storing it over the previous year. Anyway, I'm going to get on with this. That's enough of that. I shall catch up with you soon.